Okay, Sunday night rant. Hey guys and girls, how you going? I'm just going to wait for this audience to build up. And as you come on, why don't you tag a friend, share the video. Hello Stephen, how you going? Hello John, how are you? Sanjay's come on from the UK. Mukaram. Okay, let's wait for this. Hey, Paul Biller, who's just returned back from USA, watching Gary Vaynerchuk at a conference, Agent 20,021. Hello, Sharon, how are you? Hello, Karina, good to see you. Tommy, I like the way you typed that out. Hello, Paul. Okay, we got a great night ahead. Hey Sanjay, tonight I'm going to actually give people, I get asked all the time, am I speaking live at any places? So I thought I'd give you the heads up on where it is. Hello Will Ainsworth, well done. I heard you did a superb talk last week at the Melbourne Kickstart. Hello Andrew. Jay Lee, thank you so much. You've shared it and I like you. Mwah. Stephen, how are you, brother? Okay. So, hello, Rochelle. By the way, that's the water I'm drinking. If you can have a look at it there. It is called alkaline water. And what I do is I buy it in boxes of 24 times. Yeah, in boxes of 24. They come in boxes of 24 and it gets delivered to my house. It's got the highest alkalinity in there, which apparently is very good for you. Hello Lisa, how are you? Thank you Andrew, thank you for the compliment. Hey Aish, how are you? Alrighty, so gang, let's get the show on the road. Hello Johnny Manis. Let's get the show on the road. And what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to run through the book Tribe of Mentors that Tim Ferriss wrote. There was 11 questions that he sent out to all these people around the world that he wanted to get their answers. He had given them the questions so they could think through the questions. Hello, Manos. How are you, my good friend? And I thought I'd have a crack at them as well. And not for one moment. Hello, Andy from England. Not for one moment am I actually putting myself as a mentor in a tribe or anything like that. I'm answering those questions because I thought they were super questions. And I thought to myself that once you've heard the questions, you might want to answer them as well. And I thought to myself that instead of me researching another topic tonight, that we would just go over those. And I think that they're going to be extremely useful. It took me about 45 minutes to answer these questions. So it's been a busy week. This week I did about 8 conferences. I was in probably, let's call it half of Australia. So we're, back into normal work mode and holiday is long forgotten. So I thought I'll just also, maybe we'll do that. Maybe I should firstly tell you where I'll be, where I'll be speaking in the next 3 to 4, 5 weeks. So, and Susan, when she comes online, will actually put down the link for you to have. So what I'll do is let you know that I am speaking on the 7th of March in Adelaide in an event called Momentum. The people that are going to be part of Momentum is myself, Steve Carroll, Gavin Rubenstein, Vivian Yap, Marcus Chiminello, Matt Lancashire, Katie Strickland, Zoe Reynolds, Rick Serrao, and Sarah Hackett. The events are going to be held on in Adelaide, the 7th of March, Sydney, the 13th of March, Brisbane, the 20th of March, Melbourne, the 22nd of March, Canberra the 17th of April, and Perth the 19th of April. I want to make it very clear, these events are free events. They are joint initiatives from News Corporation, and realestate.com.au. Susan has actually put the link on there for you to register. So if you'd like to come to those events, there is no charge. They are in the morning of those days. The link is there for you to register. It will be a case of first in, best dressed. These events will book out because they're free and they've got quality people. Hobart is the second half of the year. Thank you so much, Stephen, for sharing that with us. Hobart is in the second half of the year, in case anyone knows. That's that. The second thing I want to talk about is I'm also doing a national conference going around Darwin will be later on as well in the year. Let me also let you know that I'm doing for finance brokers. For those that are in broking, I'm also doing a national tour. And if you want to book a seat for that, it is theadvisor.com.au, theadvisor.com.au. The conference is called Better Business Summit, and it is Brisbane the 15th of February, 22nd of February in Adelaide, 1st of March in Melbourne, 8th of March Sydney, and 15th of March Perth. So, guys and girls, there's that. Later on in this rant, I will also be announcing to you most of the AREC speakers for 2018. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on and answer those questions as per the book. So the first question that Tim Ferriss asked was, what are the books that have greatly influenced your life? What are the books that have greatly influenced your life? What are the books that have greatly influenced your life? And I did this. I wrote all my answers down while I was at a restaurant. G'day, Stephen Brown, one of the best real estate coaches in the UK. The answer to that is this. There are two books that came to mind that have had the biggest impact. They are Making the Shift by Dr. Wayne Dyer, Making the Shift, and the second one is Man's Search for Meaning. Man's Search for Meaning by Dr. Viktor Frankl. They are the two most profound books that I've read. The second question that was asked was the following. What purchase of $100 or less has most positively impacted your life in the last 6 months or in living memory? The answer to that was this, guys and girls, the Google Mini. And I think for $50, this is just a no-brainer. Go tomorrow and buy these. Too good to be true. I was sitting over Christmas, watching TV, and little Christina Panos came in and says, I need a Google Mini, and we went and got it, and I got to tell you, I fell in love with it straight away. And then this week, I was speaking for the DEXA Group, Stan Pilatus and Leanne Pilkington, and they gave me another one. But guess what? I'm buying another 3 or 4 because I'm going to have them in the rooms around the house. And what I can say is, don't forget to pick up the washing in one room, and then in the next room, what do I have to do, Google? You've got to pick up the washing. They are fantastic, and I personally believe that even though I am an addict, Apple, Will Answorth says this is sponsored by Google. I actually, believe it or not, Will, I am an Apple person, but I believe that Apple's product, which is $499, is going to struggle because this is so cost effective that you're better off buying 4 or 5 of these mini Googles and having them around the house than just the big one. And even though it doesn't have the ability of the Apple product, which has got Apple Music, what actually happens is this links up to YouTube anyway, so you can pretty much get any song that you want. And by the way, not that this is one of the questions in Tribe of Mentors, But my favorite artist, and has been for about 3 months now, and only Susan would probably pick it up, who she is. Let's see if Susan is listening. Susan, who is my favorite artist? Who is, and everyone I think would be surprised at who this person is. Let's see if Susan can answer the question. Susan, who is my favorite artist? Let's have a look. Let's wait. And while that's happening, does anyone want to have a crack at it? It's not Eminem. It's not Adele. Hey Sam from Elite Magazine, she's got a Google as well. They're fantastic. Can I tell you that they do everything? What's Google? Hey Google, what's the weather? It tells you. Hey Google, what's my diary like today? It tells you. Hey Google, I feel like eating Italian. It tells you. I always said that voice recognition would be the next thing. No, it's not David Guetta. It's not Susan. It is Kesha. Yes, I know everyone is shocked. It is Kesha. And there is 2 songs I like at the moment. And I do love Calvin Harris and I do love David Guetta. They're my 2 favorite, right? But I've got to tell you, right at this moment, Ministry of Sound, love, adore, been brought up with it. Hey, Chrissy. But it is, of course, Kesha. And I love that song, Praying. I love the words in her songs. Anyway, let's move on. The second question, or the third question is, how has a failure or apparent failure set you up for later success? Do you have a favorite failure of yours? Okay, this is a good question. How has a failure or apparent failure set you up for later success? Well, that one was me fucking up university the first time. And the reason why is that I could not make the next move a failure because I didn't want to become a tradesperson. I wanted to wear nice clothes. I wanted to drive a nice car. I was 19 and 20 and I was thought to myself, it's either university or if it's not university, you're going to become a tradesperson. I didn't want to become a tradesperson. So I had to make sales / real estate a success. And I have to say to you that failing at university gave me a hungry stomach. It also meant I needed to prove things to my parents. It also meant I had to prove a lot of fuckers wrong. So what happened is that failure there gave me a hunger and a drive that no qualifications at university would have got. So in the end, I didn't get the degree, but I did get the hunger. Now, let me just go on and say that subsequently I did go back to university, and I'm also a believer of education. And I even went back and I also completed a master's degree. So I do not want anyone watching this rant, particularly young, to think that this guy here does not support education. What I'm saying is you can have all the degrees in the world, but if you don't have the hustle and you can't read the play, you're fucked. So let's move on to number 4. Number 4 was, if you had a gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, metaphorically speaking, getting a message out to millions or billions, what would it say? If you had a billboard, what would it say? Well, you're going to die. That's what it would say. You're going to die. You're going to die. And I'll tell you why. Because the minute you can accept your mortality, you begin to realize the biggest luxury that you actually have in life is time. That's the first thing. The second thing is when you realize you're going to die, you are prepared to take risks. And the reason why is the mortality rate for those that play it safe and those that take a risk is exactly the same, 100%. So all of a sudden, when you accept you're going to die, you begin to realize that the most plentiful resource that you have is time. It's a non-renewable resource. And in fact, the most amount of time that you've got left in your life is right now. In an hour's time, you'll actually have less time left. I have to say to you, and I've said it before, a lot of the times there's, my mind wanders, particularly as I go to sleep at night, and that is, where did I come from and where am I going? And probably the two biggest questions anyone must ask about death is the following, that they don't know when they're going to die and they don't know how they're going to die. But what we do know is it's 100% that no person has not died. So for me, having illness at a young age taught me the power of you're going to die. And I have to say, I've said it to you before, sometimes when things are falling apart, they're actually coming together. So when you're, in your 30s and, you've been given an illness that has got a very low chance of survival, what actually happens is that you begin to watch your life fall apart in front of your eyes. And then you begin to say, shit, okay, every day's a bonus. And then if you're lucky enough, like me, to have a long time after that actual event, you will look back and say, that was a gift that was badly wrapped. So, gang, that would be my billboard. Let me move on to number 5. What is the one of the best or most worthwhile investments you've ever made? What is one of the best investments you've ever made? And it says it can be an investment of money, time, or energy. That one there, I have to say to you, is property. It is property. Because, and I can actually tell you, it's a house at Fitzroy Street, Newtown. And I would have bought that like I reckon around 1990 for like 200 grand, one of the best streets in Newtown, a nice, 2-story terrace. Bought it without inspecting the property, inspecting the property. And, I have to say that property there, I look at, today's market value, that would be without a doubt the best investment. But I'm going to generalize and I'm going to say to you, the best investments I've made from a financial perspective is the decision at very early stage to be a buyer and owner of real estate and to rarely sell real estate. This has been a great strategy, and I just want to, quickly give you a 30-second understanding that real estate, you make money while you sleep. I'm telling you, and I don't want to scare any guy or girl in real estate, but I've never seen a real estate agent as a single sales girl or guy actually be able to work, more than 10 years and be a top agent themselves, right? So the reality is that it is not something that you can do for 30, 40 years. But real estate is you make money while you sleep. Just basic numbers. If you're holding $20 million of real estate in an area that is going to give you, a growth rate of 10%, you're making $2 million a year tax-free while you sleep. That is the power of asset growth. That is where the money is. So any guy or girl that's watching this video, I'm telling you, you're going to make money while you sleep. I'm so proud of Susan. Like Susan, young girl, right? She is already doubled down on real estate, right? In the right areas. And, she would be making more money than most people her age on paper via real estate, and I'm no. I've got to tell you, I'm everything else I make is quite minuscule to real estate these days. Anyway, let's move on. I want to move on to number 6. What is an unusual habit or an absurd thing that you love? What is an unusual habit or an absurd thing that you love? I'll tell you what it is. Susan, someone's asked if you're single. Billy Pap. She's single, but I'm letting you know, she will fucking do your head in. If it's not rapping, it's got to do with what she's putting in her body, and it's got to be about 10 meters away from non-vegan food. But I love her. Let's move on. What is an unusual habit? And an unusual habit, I would say that nearly every night, barring the 1 or 2 nights a year when I have a fair few drinks and you come home and it's just a different night. You've drunk, more than what you have and you sort of crash out. I would say it is that I listen to spiritual podcasts as I fall asleep. It is something that is a night ritual that calms me down, that helps me understand that I am a very small speck in the scheme of things and that there is a bigger thing. It makes me think about who built the world. Was this, the builder of bodies, the builder, that there's got to be a builder to it all, So, the podcast, it's called Ancient Faith, and there's like about 40 or 50 different podcasts in the Ancient Faith channel. Please don't for one moment think that I'm trying to encourage people to go to, any denomination or what have you. All I say to you is that my night ritual, like I have a morning ritual, which is exercise, my night ritual is spirituality and listening to stuff, and it sort of puts me into a sleep. The next one is, in the last 5 years, what new belief, behavior, or habit has the most improved your life? And that would be... sorry, we just did that one. In the last 5 years, what new belief, behavior? Oh, the new belief. The new belief would be that just do whatever I want to do because people are going to judge you anyway. So I think in many ways, what it is that I care more about what I think of me than what other people think of me. I don't put my happiness in the pockets of other people. I don't expect everyone to like me. And I'm just going to share this with you. If someone sits here tonight and is thinking, why did that person think of me that way? I think you shouldn't be asking yourself that question. Why did that person think of me that way? I think the question you should be asking yourself is this: why do I even fucking care? While I'm sitting there, I just actually remembered Nick Hayes is on, and I just saw him. And Nick Hayes is Crawford BMW in the Northern Beaches are a client of mine. And Nick Hayes is a great guy. He's the head there of Crawford BMW. And on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're having a major sale there at BMW. They're having their mega sale. So go see Nick. Now, Nick's an interesting guy because Nick's training, the training he gets is real estate type training, and all he does is hang around with real estate agents. And in fact, one of the speakers of AREC 2018 is, I believe, his best friend. I'll talk about him in a moment. Let's move on. Next question. What advice would you give? What advice would you give to a smart-driven university student about to enter the world? What advice should they ignore? What advice would I give to a smart person, okay, coming out of university about to enter the real world? What it would be is this. Don't worry about your salary in the first 3 years. Don't worry about what your pay is. Don't pick a job based on salary. Don't even worry about your salary or about whether you're getting, this or you're getting that or you're getting allowances. Don't worry. Hey, going, Flinny. What I think you should be worried about is the following. You are to master your craft in those 3 years. That is your number one goal. Your second goal is that you are to build a personal brand in those 3 years. And your third goal is that you are to actually grow your list. Your list is your email list. These are people that you're going to meet. This is a database. This is a network. That's all you care about. Don't worry about your pay packet. Don't worry about your pay packet. Master your craft. Build your personal brand. Build your database. How you going, Snowy, Flinny? Let's move on. The next one. What are bad recommendations you hear in your profession or area of expertise? Well, I'm not going to put it down to one specifically, but I have to tell you, most experts in our industry and in a lot of industries spend their time talking about the technical issues. I don't care that much about the technical issues. I believe that you must know them and that you must have people employed that know them. But I don't think enough is spent on business development. Because you know what? There are two parts to business. There is two parts to your work. There is doing the job, and number two is finding people to do the job for. And as far as I'm concerned, if you're not good enough at finding people to do the job for, you won't even be doing the fucking job. I'll say it again. There are two jobs in every job. Every job's got two jobs. Number one, doing the job. Number two, finding people to do the job for. And I don't think that there is enough training, coaching, emphasis on helping people, whether you're an accountant, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a personal trainer, whether you're a real estate person, whether you're a finance broker. There is not enough spent on helping people understand on how to become a fanatical prospector. A fanatical prospector. And can I say to you, any person watching this right now, can I give you the biggest tip I can give you on prospecting? Here it is. Listen to me carefully. Never, ever, ever open up your email first. Do your prospecting. I'll tell you why. Because when you open up your email first, you get the following. You get an email from a buyer. You get an email from another colleague in the office. You get an email from someone about some training course to get your CPD points. And you also get 47 fucking emails that you've been CC'd by people that you don't even really give a fuck about a single thing. But for some reason, they've decided that you should be on that fucking email where you should be on the phone prospecting. So what I say is don't open up your inbox in the morning. Let's move on. In the last 5 years, what have you become better at saying no to? Distractions, invitations, what new realizations and or approaches have helped? Okay, I've learned to say a clear no. Hey, Flinny, I like it when you laugh. When Flinny laughs, I like it. It makes me laugh. In the last 5 years, what have you become better at saying no? Well, I've learned to say a clear no, a clean no. So what I used to say in the past is, let me come back to you. So I'd give hope to people, but deep down I didn't want to do it. So then what would actually happen is I'd have to say no again because I've given the people hope. Or I even got worse. Sometimes I used to say to people, look, try me, I can't do it now, but ask me in 2 months. And you know what? Fucking people put it in the diary and followed me up in 2 months. So now I've learned to say a clean no. Can't do it, won't work, sorry, end of story. And it sorts everyone out. Don't feel guilty. So what have I done in the last 5 years? I've learned to say a clean no. Number 11, when you feel overwhelmed or unfocused or have lost your focus temporarily, what do? Okay, I have to say that I don't really fall into that situation anymore, but I did before. I was very much a person that used to go from the heights of exhilaration to the depths of depression in a short period of time. I used to be the sort of person that I would be very anxious waiting for a result, like a health result. I used to be the sort of person that if a small thing would happen, I would somehow in my head focus on it, become myopic, become overwhelmed, and actually it would even keep me up at night. And I would create 99 problems out of the one problem. And the irony of it all is, out of the 99 problems, 98 of them would never fucking eventuate. So now, what have I learnt? The following. Whenever I become overwhelmed, I say to myself, will this be a problem in 3 months' time? Will this be a problem in a year? Will this be a problem in 2 years? And I just scale it and I say to myself, okay, Tom, it's a lot bigger in your head than what it is. The second thing I do is this. I scale it. I say to myself, out of 10, 10 being the worst, 0 being it's not a problem at all, what number do I give it? What number do I give it? And if I give it a 5, I then say to myself, Tom, it's a 5 out of 10. And then I think to myself, but hang on a second. If today I was on an aeroplane and it went down, that's a much bigger problem, right? So what do you think? So then all of a sudden the 5 might become a 3 out of 10. So scaling gives you perspective. Scaling is a really good coaching tool. The question on being when I'm unfocused, what do I do to become focused? Well, I have to say to you that I find it useful to not have fuckwits on my speed dial, because if I'm unfocused and I ring someone else who's unfocused, then we're pretty much fucked. So what the opposite of that is to actually have people that can get you back on track. So I've got good people that I know that I can ring and contact that can say the right things. In addition to that, what I can say to you, what else is that I do that helps me to get back on track is this. I don't catastrophize. And what I mean by that is if I go off, hypothetically, if I go eat gelato and I'm trying to eat clean, I'm not the sort of person that turns around and says, fuck it, you've had gelato, let's let loose, right? I'm not an all or nothing person. I'm the sort of person that will say to themselves, okay, I had that gelato. I wish I hadn't, but it tasted well. And you know what? It's not the end of the world. So this all or nothing thinking is the thing that really gets people off track, because they really seek perfection. Guys and girls, let me talk to you now, and that is the end of the rant. Now, let me announce to you some of the speakers of AREC 2018. Well, I will give you a fair portion of them. Gavin Rubinstein is speaking. And as many of you know, Gavin, I've been with Gavin as his educator, his coach, his colleague, and his mate from day one. And I can tell you, I backed this guy when he wasn't doing the numbers that he's doing. And he is just, to me, a picture of discipline, right? Gav Rubenstein, Philly Harris, as Snowy Carter says, James Tostovan, always provides outstanding value, and I think he's the number 2 agent in Australia. Chris Helder, who is one of the best deliverers of keynotes at conferences. Tom Ferry is going to be doing 2 sessions. That great real estate coach from the USA, Tom Ferry. In addition to that, let's open up here this computer. We've got Megan Jaffe, the number 1 owner of Ray White in the world. Megan Jaffe. In addition to that, Alex Phillips, the number 1 agent on REB with Prue, his personal assistant. And they're going to talk about how they work as a team, who does what. We've got 4 coaches, great coaches: Josh Fegan, Michael Sheargold, Peter Gilchrist, and Lee Woodward, outstanding coaches. We've got Judy O'Day. We've got from Brisbane, outstanding operator. We've got Betty Ockelander, she's writing $3 million in GCI. Lindy Harris. We've got Andrew North from New Zealand, probably one of the best auctioneers I've ever seen, but he's not there for his auctioneering. This guy's there. I got to tell you, I heard him speak, and I said, this guy's got to speak. I heard him speak at a conference in Noosa earlier on last year. Peter Sheehan is a brain, a master. Jess Smith, Marty Fox, Ryan Fisher. Look, I'm not going to go through all the list there, but in addition to that, we're going to see the system of Tanae Jane. Guys and girls, there is some other big names coming. No, Gary Vee won't be speaking. So they're the AREC speakers. I also want to let you know, I'm telling you, I'm very sorry, the real estate gym and Chris Hassel, yes, absolutely, Chris Hassel is also speaking. I want to let you know the real estate gym is closed. We've had emails and we're not opening it up because we've said it was closing on the Thursday. We extended it to Friday. The real estate gym is closed, and anyone that's watching this, I want to let you know that you can use your real estate gym privileges to buy your AREC ticket. You are getting hundreds of dollars off the AREC price. I'm also going to let our real estate gym members know that we have tomorrow night, the Monday night real estate rant, and it is how to be a fanatical prospector. How to be a fanatical prospector. That is for our real estate gym members. Like we have our Sunday night rants, we are having a Monday night real estate rant, and it is just about real estate on our private page. Guys and girls, I want to thank you for the biggest thing you can give me, your attention, and please share that video. I'm also letting you know that Facebook has dramatically changed the algorithm on the reach that you get. It's been changed over the last few weeks. You need to pull out your wallet and get a bigger audience. They have tightened things up. Guys and girls, it is 8:30 tomorrow, the real estate gym rant at 8:30 tomorrow. This week, guys and girls, I've got Sky Business on Monday night. If you want to watch me there at 7 o'clock on Sky Business. In addition to that, I'll be going to Melbourne on Friday, and I'm doing a conference, doing 2 conferences on Friday in Melbourne, O'Brien's, Kay and Burton. In addition to that, on Thursday, I'm doing Remax in Brisbane. Guys and girls, thank you so much for your attention, and anyone, you can contact Susan or send me a private message if you want me to conduct a 3-hour scripts and dialogue session at your office. I will be able to talk to you about organizing a time It won't be in the next few weeks, but we can organize a time. It is a 3-hour workshop on scripts and dialogues where I've got all the scripts and dialogues that you can use in the market, but you can't actually see those on video. I don't have them. I deliver those in live sessions. Guys and girls, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you next week. God bless.